Welcome to Nice and welcome to Euro Truck Simulator 2. Yes, I'm back in this as I'm wrapping up the Trade Connections to France World of Trucks event kind of thing. I thought I'd bring you along here on the last one. I've just realised that my head movement is massively overdone still, but I'll power through. Sorry if you get motion sickness, but I just need to do something now to get my mind off the whole thing. And the thing I'm trying to get my mind... Oh god, it's not braking at all. Oh, that's a big old bump here. Let me just get it over here so I can see the speed we're doing. And then we'll try and carry on here. Yeah, the thing that I was talking about before I got myself confused, as usual, is that yesterday evening on Sunday, I don't know when these videos go up, so please don't pin that on me, my computer decided that it didn't want to move a file on my hard drive. I think it was even a video recording or something like that. It's a long time ago and a lot of headache as a result of it. Yeah, I didn't want to move it. It just sort of crashed twice when I tried to do it. Then it booted into check disk, or the Windows wants to check your drive for its consistency, which I always thought referred to like how moist it was, because that's how it works in my language and that. But that's not what it is. It did that, then it booted up into... It deleted loads of things, by the way, during that. A lot of things was deleted and edited. And then it booted into installing a Windows update, which it wasn't doing, but it was configuring it. Stopped at 100%. Then it wouldn't do that, so I had to restart, which obviously is not a good thing because it's a Windows update. It says literally on the tin, don't turn your computer off, but I had to because it wouldn't go out of it. Then it got into the same screen but stopped at 35%. Then I booted into safe mode, where it then cancelled the whole thing where it worked, and it just rewrote or reverted and all of that stuff, restarted, and it was not genuine anymore with Windows at that point, which was a bit of a surprise given that I've used that particular... Hang on, I just need to make sure I'm doing everything right here. Yes, we're doing everything right. We're going over here to MVM to drop off some stuff. I've just noticed I've updated my recording overlay. Yeah, I had to upgrade everything, or update everything after that. Apparently that was one of the files it decided to corrupt, was my genuine, or the Windows license system thing, which was great. Tried initially to try and go online and try and see if I could fix it. I couldn't. So I sort of had to reinstall Windows at midnight. I got to bed at 2, had to get up at 8. Not a happy camper today, me, so I'm very tired, just very annoyed for a lot of the time. Basically, I knew at midnight when it was broken that, I might as well just give up getting sleep, right? Because I knew if I went to sleep all angry and frustrated that I wouldn't get proper sleep, so just, power through and that. And it worked because I had it installed and mostly updated, and it was working. And then I had to spend all of the morning sorting out all of the Windows updates and installing all of my programs. Thankfully, I managed to restore my Steam library. Didn't know I could do that. That was the first time that's worked for me. I just went in and re-added my old Steam library. Everything works. I backed up my save files on this, which is partly why you can see that I've got a lorry with a lot of kilometres on the dial. Otherwise, I think I would have lost all of that, but I did back it up before I did anything because I didn't want to lose it again. That's a very good top tip here if you play these kind of games. You can store up those save files if you... Oh, hello. Why? Oh, dear, I've crashed into that. So, yeah, okay, I think the audio is okay, but it's coming up as being very low on my microphone. Maybe if I quickly pause my recording, right? Righto, we should now be in a slightly better zone. Oh, yes, indeed we are. No, we're a bit high, actually, if given this over here. There we go. Yeah, this is a lot better. We are sitting where I want to sit now with the audio levels. I should do this internal monologue, internally as a monologue, but I didn't. So yeah, that's what my day has been. It's been quite annoying. I have done a little bit of Farming Simulator, though. You just got to find time for that, don't you? Lovely stuff, but we'll just go over here to MVM. But everything was lost. All my settings for like track IR, which is what I've had to redone, which is why it's all a bit wrong now. Tip the curb there, ignore that. It's very frustrating when you have to do all of that. I don't do that very often because I don't like doing it. I think it's very annoying, but sometimes you sort of have to. At the very least, it's very quick now, my computer. And Windows has not stopped being genuine yet, but we never know if that might happen again. Fingers crossed it doesn't. I've used that same install, or the previous install with the same, key and that, for years and years now. Literally nothing has changed other than an error in Windows, which is very nice. Okay, let's go back to the trucking simulator talk then. I got a bit confused there, sorry. We have the new Scania that's very close to coming out now. They did a post on the forum and I am excited. I am very excited indeed. I'm very much looking forward to that. I think it's a gorgeous lorry. I see them quite a bit now. There's quite a few of them about, and they are absolutely gorgeous, the new Scanias. The S model, the one with the smooth floor, that's how I remember it. The S model is got a smooth floor, that's got a flat floor, which is very good for the driver, obviously. It's a bit taller in the cab, so you've got slightly worse visibility, which is worse if you're going around cyclists and pedestrians. And the R is the one with the engine sort of recessed into the cabin, or the cabin's right, round we go, thank you. Yeah, it's recessed in there, so it's a bit lower, better visibility, but obviously it's slightly, I don't know if it's worse, just less comfortable for the driver. He doesn't have as much room in his cabin, so that's of course what's good for him. I've also had to update a lot of my mods here, which I didn't back up. Foolishly, I backed up none of my mods for Farming Simulator or any of the trucking simulators. I've only sorted out my mods for Euro Truck Simulator and for Farming Simulator, not American Truck Simulator yet, because I'm not really ready to play that just yet. And this, stop. Why are we not stopping? Okay. They must have updated some settings for the realistic physics mod that I'm using. I'm using the improved physics by LXAP, and it doesn't seem to be working quite so well as I would hope at low speed. The brakes are awful. How are we coming in on this trailer, by the way? I mean, this is... Nope, this is... It's... Okay, right, let's just fix the brakes. Yeah, we're over time here. Let's just credit that to the fact that the game didn't work because my computer shat itself. So I'll take that one. We'll go into the controls, and where is... Oh, we need to go into gameplay for that. Yeah, it's a bit weird with the whole settings. And you can see some of my settings here. Brakes... Intensity, let's increase that a wee bit. Yeah, indeed. La-di-da, la-di-da, la-di-da. This is my truck, by the way. Isn't it lovely? It's a good old Scania. This is sort of the final form. It's sort of the apex of every previous version of this truck that I have had. We're now coupling the trailer up. I'm very pleased with this truck, by the way. It looks fantastic. I'm using, I think it's Lone Star or Lone Ranger's high definition interior texture and Peaver's Scania dashboard mod, which is really pretty. Combined with this is by far the prettiest interior you'll find, especially if you use some of the, what is it it's called? Mighty Griffin, that's the one, the add-on or DLC. It's absolutely beautiful. Anyway, we are going from Nice, where we are now, slightly outside of Nice, to Budapest. Or we're either going to a new town. That's lovely. I've got loads of dosh because I have to travel around and do all sorts of stuff. So money is no object at the moment. I'll just put this over here on that one so I can see me speed. Oh, right. We're not meant to go this way. We're using automatic gearbox. For some reason it has to say... Well, it doesn't say that now, of course, but it will when we go forwards. It does have an alias in front of the number. Don't think they have that in the real Scanias, but I'm not 100% sure. Certainly it does fall out a bit. Don't know why that's there. It would just be nice for that to go away completely. I cannot see a damn thing in my mirrors. How do I get out from this place? Is this not just a car park? Can we... I think I'm getting myself lost here. I'm putting on my high beams, and I've got very effective high beams. So we've got a trailer. Oh, that's no good. Was that just a cab? Oh, there it is. Yeah, it was just the cab that I slightly scruffed there. Can I actually get out from this? Right, engage handbrake into external view. Yeah, if I just bring it around a bit to the right, we should be set. I'll use that over there. I mean, even it's okay to sort of cheat a bit if you're going into a very tight space, I find. Because normally if you do like heavy hauling in that, you would have spotters out to help you guide you in. And I also had to fix my Trek IR. And I think I worked out why the Trek IR was a bit wrong. It went back into the default mode. I just need to be careful here. We've got a wall on the outside, but I now got proper movement over here. Brake, 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 brake. We need to bring the front end around. Please bring the front end around without going too quickly. What's the trailer doing? The trailer's sort of all over the place, but I can sort of straighten it out here. It's also very weird. I haven't got my wheel settings just right, and the centering spring works really weirdly. Like you can reduce its efficiency, but it also reduces how it snaps back, like how willing it is to center itself, which I think is really weird. Like I want to reduce its stiffness, I don't want to reduce its reboundness, because that's, you know, it's realistic that the wheel wants to center itself. That's what real vehicles do, and you use that a lot when you drive. Like that's why you can drive with one hand if you need a drink. Not if you use a phone, by the way. That's dangerous. If you can grab like refreshments and that, you're not allowed to be dehydrated. I'll try that again. But being dehydrated, in my opinion, is worse than simply driving without getting a drink. So I will approve of that. That's fine. That's a safety issue. Same as you're allowed to call the emergency services while you're driving. If you spot, for example, a drunk driver in front of you, you can use your handheld mobile device in order to alert the police. Obviously, it's more of a risk that a person is driving drunk than you talking on the phone with the police. Of course it is. 30, mate, wind your neck in, I'm a lorry driver. Oh no, I agree with that. I'm very heavy now. This is a 480 Euro 6 engine, that's it. I'm going fast around a tight bend. Whoa, that was a lightning flash. Flashback to my previous video from Medieval 2 there. Nice to see that tie in together. Cross you. I think it clipped stone there. And I need to try and pay a bit more attention. We can go on full beams. Do we have all of the light? We don't have all of the lights on. I will put that on immediately. Look at this. Ah, yeah, now we can see. Oh, yeah, and there's interior lighting in here. That just looks really nice. I went for the red light, of course. That's what the military uses. Why wouldn't I use the same thing as the bloody military in their night driving stuff? It's brilliant. Apparently the red light helps preserve your night vision. It also makes it easier for you to fall asleep afterwards. If you are a lorry driver and you drive at night, do keep something like that going, because it helps to remove the blue light colour ray things which we associate with daylight, which is also why you can get add-ons for your computer like Flux, or I think there are other ones available as well, but I only know about Flux, which is really nice, by the way. I did use that for a very long time, but now I just stopped using my computer close to going to bed, which helps the issue. I find reading is quite nice. Let's avoid that. The wheel is very firm, and my track is all over the place, which is why I'm doing massively overcorrected measurements. That was so close to clipping something. Oh, you didn't even know it. Oh, and we weren't even indicating. Christ. Fuel economy looking quite okay at the moment. I did haul quite heavy yesterday, so it may be quite through the roof at some point, but maybe it's reset itself. Yeah, we're sort of hustling yesterday on Saturday to complete the challenge. I didn't. Decided to leave this one for the morning, and then of course the aforementioned computer apocalypse happened, which I managed to recover from. So I have to do it now, even though it's expired. I don't think it's a requirement that it is on time, this delivery. Certainly hope not. That would be very annoying indeed. But if I don't get it, you know, I don't get it. It's not important. It's just nice because it's something I want to try and certainly do my part to see more of in this. What the fucking hell was that? Was that one of those little plastic bollards that a bloody it is SES software? Those bollards, just FYI, can be taken off by a Ferrari at Le Mans without damaging the bodywork. That did how much damage? Also, why does that not work? That did 3% damage to me cap. That doesn't seem right. They should be like bendable. They're not floppies, those. They are like just plastic tubes you put in, and then they can get run off. Not solid objects. Christ, on a bicycle, isn't it? To redo my. There we go. That's better. Yeah, you can really mod in the Scania here. I think overall this is the ultimate mod, or truck, or lorry, or cab, or whatever you want to call it, for Euro Truck Simulator 2. It looks fantastic. The exterior model is through the roof. RJL's done a fantastic job on this, and then with the add-ons of the interior here, with I believe I'm using. Pay attention. Yeah, I believe I'm using Sizzle's interior add-on stuff. Apparently, I'm a performance optimizer. Anyway, I'm using the Sizzle's interior mods over here. The lighting is originally in the mod included, and then I'm using Hella. I believe it's a blah 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 blah. So you know who it is if you're frequent over on SES forums. With the Hella lighting pack, and there's also a RJL version of some Kelsa light bars which I'm using, 50k's wheel mod, not the tyre mod. I'm using Michelin for that. And what else? I believe I also have, well, I have hella double burners installed, but I'm not currently using them. Am I going in the right direction? Because I'm getting a bit confused. I am, good. Yeah, we need to double back here. So I'm using all of that. Is there anything else? Probably is. The skin is one that I made myself, and it's not really available to anyone. Because probably nobody wants it. It's just something I made for myself. It's lovely, it's nice. I like it. And now we're on the motorway. We're out to do, I think, 90. But I believe real lorry drivers are... Hang on, should I have stopped for a rest there? What are we looking in terms of resty time? Well, this might get critical. Oh, I mean, at the very least, there's another coming up here, and we can chop into that one. I believe that's near the border with Italy. We're meant to keep the high beams on the motorway, by the way. According to the Danish... What is it? The Motorists Association or Union or whatever you want to call yourself. They say you need to drive with high beams on the motorway because you outrun your normal headlights at motorway speeds, and presumably that includes lorries. It's getting dark outside, so I just had to turn off my second monitor, otherwise that would blind me. But it does look nice with the interior red light, the lovely little Garmin sat nav on the dashboard, some tissues because that's very useful, some pens and other business, my Scania wallet, and me mugs over there supporting, I believe that's Schwarzmüller, Scania and Michelin, obviously supporting the officially licensed products in the game because I like seeing that kind of stuff, so I put it over there. Got a little fan up there. Got me pornography over there, lorry driver of course, and me high visibility and head protection down there. This is the most lorry drivering you can ever do your lorry drivering virtually. I can't really murder a prostitute because it's not GTA. But that really, sorry, a clap there, that would cause my microphone to go all sorts of crazy in the recording. What are we holding? We're holding like some sort of track. We're holding tracks, multiple ones. I think there's only one on a trailer to Trader in Budapest. I know we're getting tired. It weighs 11 tons, so it's not the heaviest load in the world. Oh, now we're limited to 80 kph because we're in Italia. This will get a lovely rehaul or overhaul soonish. I believe they've pretty much confirmed it'll be out this year, which will be very nice. That may actually be coincidental with the new Scania. I mean, I'm just so excited for it. Like really, really excited. That's why they've saved up all this money. I just need a lot of cash because I'm just going to buy, like, get a billion different ones for my garages. I've sort of planned out the one I want. I want an S, the flat floor one, with about 500 horses. And then I'll probably want to go for the biggest cap just to treat myself. I feel like I deserve it, you know. And just try and trick it out nice and cool and lovely. I'm really looking forward to it, by the way. It's going to be epic. Let's just sort this out here. But this is... Oh yeah, my sideways movements are also through the roof. We need to bring ourselves in far over here, so we need to stop for a rest afterwards. Yeah, I could probably check that out as well at the same time, can't I? So we don't move so far left and right. Brake, slow down. We need to come to a stop here. There we go. Yeah, that helped changing that intensity. Stop. Apparently I didn't stop in it. There we go. Just a millimetre forwards. That's okay. Buongiorno to, you know, the person working in there. We'll just bring it over here. Oh, there's a lovely little parking spot over here that we can grab. So bring it in here near the curbing. Hopefully will the trailer straighten itself out. Ooh, it's getting good. I mean, we're in the space, so let's just stop here, lights off. The roly lefty righty thing should be fixed, and apparently I somehow got 1% of damage on my trailer, which is very annoying. I don't know how I got that. That seems to be a bit weird, but whatever. We mounted the curbing there, but and why? That's wrong. Stupid game. I'm an excellent driver. I will not flash our high beams. We'll just pop on our lights as it is raining. Let's turn off our high beams. We'll pull out here. It's safe to do this. On we go towards Hungary. Yeah, we're going towards Budapest. That's all the way up in Hungary. We're now in Italy, home of the upcoming Italy DLC. Smartly named by them, I think. Very well informative and everything with that name. And as I said, perhaps that Scania will come alongside. which will be very nice. It'll be interesting to see if we'll get Italy before we get New Mexico, or New Mexico will come before, or they'll coincide with each other. It's a lovely time though, because we're going into the autumn. It's technically autumn, isn't it? It's been lovely outside. It's been better than most summer days over here today. So I can't really complain at all. Let's see how we got fuel economy going up here. So we're having a lovely time. We need to go to Austria because we're in Italia. And this is my original truck from when I last did a reinstall of Windows. I forgot to back it up back then. So I had to do the whole thing over again. I've done just about 80,000 kilometres in this. But in total I must have done like 200,000 over a various number of save files and Windows reinstalls over the years. Since I started using his lovely mod here. It's just very nice. It's a good mod. I like Scania. Scania, they're the good ones. I used to work in a place where we had mostly Scania, yeah, and they've since bought one new Scania. Very nice P380. Lovely little powery thing. Anyway, yeah, they've got Scania. They swear by Scania. They say they're the most expensive ones. It even said so in the official Scania magazine that we got in there that I quite enjoyed reading. But they even said Scania themselves that it is the most expensive model out on the market, or the most expensive manufacturer, but it is the most reliable one. You have higher uptime with Scania, higher than any other lorry, in fact, and that's important. Also, it's owned by VW, so you know you're going to get a decent quality product out of it. We'll ignore the whole thing that happened last week about the settlement of the EU, the cartel thing they've done with all the other trucking manufacturers. Because really, how can I blame Scania for something every other lorry manufacturer did? They're all scum as regarding to that. If you haven't been heard about it or followed it, in about 2011 or 2014, around that time some years ago, a man sort of went to the EU and went like, we're doing like really shady stuff with lorries. We are working together and agreeing to prices and like, you know, environmental mileage and emissions and that. And of course, the EU, that's like dangling a red rag in front of a Red Bull. They launched onto them last year, I believe it was DAF, Iveco, Volvo and Renault. They got their fines, which was a couple of billion euros each, quite a lot of money. And then Scania, who didn't want to be a part of that particular one, they wanted to be on their own, got a much bigger fine. Presumably, that's just the EU going, you don't want to work with us? Well, we're going to really show you how you should do that next time round if you do it again. You know, good EU, that's what I want the EU to be doing. I want them to crack down, I want to give big fines to big companies, and that's what they're doing. It's also a Danish person that's doing it. But, you know, I won't get nationalism coming in here, should I? Yes, I believe it's Margrethe Vestager who does all of that whole trade, court, watchdog, angry people that wants to take down corporations thing, which is a very good thing. It's making the world better. They've gone after Apple. I believe they've gone after Facebook and Google. And if you go after those two corporations, Google and Facebook, you become very high on my popularity list. Oh yes, if ISIS targeted them, I might support them. That's not true, Google. Please don't destroy me and everything I do, because that's what Google do these days, certainly with YouTube anyway. Yeah, it's still not perfect with the track IR, but I'll power through, and I barely will mention it. That's a lie, but you know that. Yeah, that's a good thing. EU good. Sorry, Britain, and you leaving, but really, idiots. But sorry mate, you can accelerate away, good. Coming into another pay place, didn't even cut anybody up on the inside. Oh, stay in the lane. Yeah, track still is a bit weird over here. We've still got a fair bit of movement. Let's brake, because we're coming into toolboxes. Not toolboxes, toll road. I said I was very tired, it's true. I am very tired today. Good thing by the EU though. Love that bit of EU justice every now and then. Bring it over here, and you know, Spain's doing a thing right now today which isn't going well, I heard. Or maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Lots of violence and desirable of independence. I'll not talk anything about it because I literally know nothing about it. it just seems like England and the United Kingdom handled that a little bit better when Scotland wanted their independence, or at least wanted to vote about it. They didn't want to leave anyway, and then apparently Nicola Sturgeon decided that they do want to, so they want to try and force another one, and it just gets a bit weird at that point. Anyway, that's going on. We've apparently got Puerto Rico, so the world's basically still fucked. Like North Korea is still a thing for now. It might change at some point in time in the near future. That's, great. Nuclear holocaust coming. Oh Christ, that was a big bump. That's probably why they're redoing this part, isn't it? Because there's a bloody fault line on the road. But did that do any kind of serious damage over here? Nah, it's up. I'm pressing loads of buttons here and they're all doing the things that don't need it. There we go. Let's see here, we've got 17 hours, we've got 1,000 or something kilometres left. I don't think we're going to do it all on video, but I don't know. We'll just have a look. Oh Christ, another one there. What are they doing? Is that the World War I trench they've dug on the road? Blimey. Anyway, let's go to the second one, and that's clear. Why is there arrows on the road? It's like those are Gran Turismo levels, which is cool. That's cool. Just stop. I knew it. Knew how under control, eh? Oh, my driver, Bridget J, couldn't find. Is that Bridget? I've hired Bridget Jones. Oh dear. That can't end well. Didn't know she became a lorry driver. I thought she just recently did another film. I don't know. And again, maybe what else could we have then? Oh, Sophie I. No, that doesn't ring any bells. Mila R. Couldn't find a job either. Why can't none of you find a job? You useless drivers. Apparently they only go between or to their garage and then to another city and then back to their own garage. And if they can't find a job in that city, they'll just drive home empty. Seems a bit weird, but what have you, eh? Martina N could make some dosh for us. That's good. What about the next one? That's Martin M. Could it not have been Martin Kemp? That would have been nice. We could have done a Spandau Ballet joke. But you've only gone and bloody ruined that, haven't you? Sabrina C. You've made me money. I like you, Sabrina. I'm speeding. Let's just turn that off. We don't need that. It's ruining my immersion. Pop onto here. Cruise control. Lovely set. We're dropping with fuel use. That's good. I like that. I like that a lot. We've got a corner coming up here. It's not as stiff as I remembered. I said to about, I believe, 20 or 25 in the centering spring stiffness in Logitech's configurator thing. I also saw that Logitech now makes a farming simulator peripheral series of 2 items. One is like a side panel, like a shifter with loads of buttons, which looks very cool, and they also do a wheel and pedal and side pod thing. It looks very good, but it's very expensive. Really expensive, like a couple of £100 or dollars or whatever you use. It seems, I mean, I don't know if it's better than the one made by, was it Mad Cat or Cytec? I think Cytec actually is owned by Mad Cat, so it would be the same thing. But I don't know if it's any better. If any of you know, please let me know, because if at one point in the near future I have a couple of money left over that I could spend on that, it might be interesting. Apparently that's got 1,800 degrees of steering. I don't know if it's got force feedback. That may have been the thing they cut out. It may have centering, but not force feedback, I believe. It's also got loads of buttons and D-pads and everything. It looks really cool. It's just a bit pricey, but that's Logitech for you. Then again, would anyone buy anything other than Logitech in terms of, you know, peripherals of that regard? Well, I suppose you could buy like Fanatec. I've got Fanatec pedals actually now that I mention it. But like my mouse and my keyboard, they're both Logitech. My steering wheel is Logitech, but you know, that's only because everyone else is very expensive. Like the Germans make very expensive stuff, being Fanatec. There's Thrustmaster, but isn't that owned by Mad Cat? So I've got my doubts about their quality. There's also some other expensive, like racing-based stuff. But why hasn't there been any peripherals designed for trucking? I know there's been a couple of shifters released, but nothing like steering wheels with like proper lorry design and pedals with like long pedal feel. That seems like they're missing a massive gap in the market, although I suppose they would mostly be interested in licensed products, and I don't know if Scania or any of the other ones would be willing to do that. There is that American Eaton filler shifter, and a couple of knockoff, oh pardon me, yeah, a couple of knockoff products as well. I don't think they're as officially Eaton fillery as that. And there's like several homemade stuff. Like I've seen a Scania shifter, a couple of Scania shifters actually. The old, not quite an H pattern because it's the small inverted H. It's sort of like a Y shifter because they've got, well, not really. It's sort of like a mirrored Y in it. Because you've got first, which is middle down in a normal gearbox, and then you've got second, which is right and up, and then third, which is down or right and down. It's very weird that. And then they change. Oh, if you've got a ZF or Volvo, they've got a different system as well, which is a bit weird. Well, I suppose it's not weird. I suppose that's logical because it's not the same manufacturer. But what do I know? Yeah, it's just a bit weird we haven't seen anything like that, like a big old Scania wheel at your desk. That'd be cool. I'd love that. Like a proper big one with 1800 degrees of steering or whatever it is that true trucks have. It'd be cool. Like imagine building a home simulator. I saw a post online, or YouTube video actually, I think it was, of a bloke who's pretty much done a faithful recreation of I believe it's a Kenworth 900 or W900 interior at his desk. I believe it's some Brazilian bloke, which is really cool. Superbly fantastic. I'd love to do the same with a Scania. Well, I'm sort of torn between going between American or this. It's sort of like, I've played it a lot, American Truck Simulator, and the lack of size has sort of gotten to me, I suppose. Like it's nice here you've got a much bigger map, and some of it is not as detailed though, or as good of a quality, but there's more variety in it. You can plot around over in Northern Europe and Scandinavia, or you can come into France, which is lovely detailed, or we can come in here into... Okay. Oh! Apparently I thought that went up. It didn't. Was it the neighbouring one that went up? I just saw 0 and I saw something move up. Oh well. Good thing it's just me old Scania. I'll just cut off the alpha. Hope they don't mind. Yeah, it is weird. We haven't seen that at all. I'd also like a big old one of those airbags. Seats. That would be cool. You could actually do proper-ish, I should say, full simulation on the drive if you had an air seat. Because, you know, you could sort of recreate with the base, the bumps and that. That'd be really cool. Like you'd sit there and it would go bunga, bunga, bunga. Because they've got air seats. It looks really fun if you drive those. Like if you adjust them, it goes... It's like being a child, really, when you get anything near those vehicles. What do we have here? We got nobody coming up. That's good. Oh, you're coming in. Lovely. Yeah, the AI does seem to take into account where you are and sort of decides to move over if you get too close. Let me try and demonstrate by closing up with, I suppose, the bus in front if we can. Yeah, let's just go up here so you can get 12th. Thank you. We're not going towards Milano. We are cracking on towards Budapest. Yeah, here we go. Towards the bus. Let's see it brake. Okay, we're closing too fast. Closing, closing, closing. You should move over now, right? Why are you not doing what I want you to do? Usually they'll move over, and if you're at a junction and you're indicating left, if you're in mainland Europe, the oncoming traffic will at one point stop for you, which just means that I just stop indicating left once they begin to slow down for me, because, you know, real truckers don't have that luxury in real life. Why should I have it here? A Polizia Stradale Controller, something. Apparently they're doing frequent speed readings out here, so we need to be careful. And you're driving a Punta, so you need to be very careful. Right, yeah, you better stay over there. I'm going into the hot shoulder, don't want to do that. Speed limit's dropped, and we got cameras. Yep, I'm good. Okay, I need to force my way over here. Sorry, Mondeo. Chase, got to do the lefty-righty thing in order to say thank you. As usual, we come up here very slowly into a 40 section. This is accurate I've realised I've gone through many of these sort of tighty, joiny thingies, and you really do have to be doing 40 or 45 around these in order to not, you know, feel like you're being thrown out of the cab or whatever you're driving. Maybe it's easier in like a car, but anything bigger than a car, it's not. You're sort of sideways through the thing, and it's not particularly pleasant. So, and lorries, indeed, I dare not think what would happen if they went through it like 60. I'm guessing it would fall over on its side, and lorries don't take naps that way. No, 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 no. How are we doing on the fuel? Well, we're gaining a bit, but we just had to accelerate as well. I've also noticed that there's no AdBlue for this here. There is in the new MP4. They've got an AdBlue gauge. Like all the Americans ones, they've got their DEF, which is the same thing. But nothing here. We can't see that. I also believe we can see it in... Oh boy, in the Iveco as well, and in the Volvo, the new FH, which is nice. That's actually usable. I mean, you don't use a lot of it, but it would be nice to see. Maybe there just isn't a gauge in Scania, because Scania reckons you can check that manually, or maybe it's part of the many pages that are not included. Like this here, you can go up, you can choose like what type of road you're on. Presumably one would go into diagnostics, like the bottom one. The other one would go into like all sorts of gauges. Then I don't know what the cap thing would do. We got the brakes here, that's brake pressure. I believe the 5 that are shown at the top, that is the cruise control setting. Apparently you can do multiple cruise control settings, which is nice. Temperatures, everything's got a temperature. Then we got the different modes. I believe that is engine mapping mode. Maybe that's what that thing is. So it's now in eco mode. That has nothing to do with what I set it in the folders. Or in the, not in the folders, but in the settings. It has no correlation to that. This is just a menu that looks pretty. We just got to do the thing here. Let's slow down. Thank you. Okay, it does slow down quite a bit once I increase the intensity. That's nice. Stop. Thank you. Note that I didn't crash into it. I've learnt my lesson. How are we looking on time for a rest break? We can't do this in one haul. We can't even do it in 2 at the moment. We need to wait a bit. I'll just indicate out here. We need to go toward Verona. I've been to Verona. It's a lovely Italian place. It's very Italian though, and it's very touristy, so it's not really my cup of tea. But if you're into that kind of stuff, it's very nice. They've got a lovely old Colosseum, I think, in the middle of town from like the Romans, which is really cool. Like I've played Rome Total War, which has made me really appreciate Radio Bit because it's a really cool game. Like I've very recently, like last night, I tried to play Rome Total War 2. Maybe that's why everything went down. I tried Rome Total War 2. That would explain it. The gaming gods have realised that I have made a mistake and I must be punished for it. I played Rome Total War 2 instead of Rome Total War when it was available. As such, my computer had to die. That's fine. I will bow to the Roman gods in that case. And well, that is just a brilliant game, Rome Total War. I'm currently playing through Medieval 2, which you've probably seen on the channel. It's very good, but it just doesn't feel the same as Rome Total War. Rome is it's just special. Like the battles in it is just fantastic because you've got these great big units that are clashing into each other. Like a big fight is just incredible, and it just sucks up time. I've played it more than I thought. I played it nearly 200 hours. I'm pretty much evenly split between American Truck Simulator and Rome Total War, and I played Rome Total War for half the time in terms of calendar time. I only started playing that in December last year when I was very ill with the flu. I was like really ill. It's been a long time since I was so ill that I had to stay in bed for, I believe it was like 5 days before I could even think about getting out of it, which is really unpleasant. I was absolutely awful. I literally went up in the morning, got up, went in, had a tiny bit of white bread, and then I plopped down on the sofa to just lie and groan for the rest of the day. But that was when I saw some videos of Rome 1. It was very good. And then I played it once I started feeling a little bit better, and that helped me get over it tremendously. It's just such a fantastic game. It's got such character. And And that's what a lot of modern games feel like they don't have. Like Rome Total War 2 doesn't feel like it has the same character. Like Rome 1 graphically, it's very simple, but it's also very unique in that regard. It just feels so fantastic. And I mean, of course, we all know that the ultimate Roman general was Julianus Vatinius, and no one general that I will ever have, or faction leader or anything, will ever come near him. But that doesn't mean that I can't try again in the near future. I actually gave Rome Total War go when I finished playing the second campaign of Rome Total War. I thought a bit of a break and just really felt that it was all wrong and that. And then I also tried Medieval 2 about that time, and that also felt a bit wrong, so I just sort of left it until the summer around that time. But I thought I'd give it another go, and it's very good. It's very good. It's very different. It doesn't have the same unit size. There's lots of improvements, a lot of stuff that I don't particularly care for, but I've already talked about some of those. Thankfully, that save file is still with me, so I can do more videos on that, and I'm looking very much forward to that because it's very enjoyable to play. As is Farming Simulator. That's pretty much mostly what I play now. I've sort of given up on the whole shooty gun bang game, unless I'm, like a strategy game. It's just, I don't care for AAA gaming. That's the thing. I don't get it. It's not. It's the words that I want to use is that it's just a money grab now. It is. It's just a money grab. That's it. I've made up my mind. It's a bloody money grab. With all the loot boxes and microtransactions and that, thank you very much for putting that in. That means I don't have to care anymore. Is man holding back for us? I think he is. Thank you. Very kind of you. Let's just say thank you to you. Thank you kindly. Yeah, all of that loot boxes, all of that, it's just no. It's wrong. That's no good. It's not enjoyable. I want to buy a game and then I want to own that game and I want to play it in the manner that I want to play. Don't do any of that nonsense. It's not enjoyable for anyone. It's good for your presumably bank account. And I'm also sort of worried though about this because you get rewards now for doing these World of Truck jobs if you complete the trait connections to France. You get a little gold statue thing you can put on the inside, and you get flags to put in your window, and they're all randomly dropped. Don't do that. I mean, if you just get them for literally just playing the game, that's fine. They're sort of like a separate unlock. They're purely cosmetic, but they're just flags you can put on the inside. It's something you just as easily could mod if you wanted to. I even think there are mods that already do it. They've just decided to add it in that regard. And it's okay. It's sort of like a reward. But on the other hand, it sort of just makes you think, what else are they going to do? Like, are they going to say, okay, yeah, you've gotten to this point, but if you want to unload like painted body parts, you have to pay for it, otherwise you'll just drive around with black plastic parts. Is that what they're going to think about doing? I hope not. That'd be bloody a shame. That bloody ruin the whole thing. They've got a very good game here. Don't do what the big ones are doing. You're better than that. Everyone is. Sadly, it seems Take-Two is the worst offenders, among the worst offenders of this. And I, as a result, have no intention currently of reinstalling GTA 5. That had to go. It takes up like 50 gigabytes. I'm not keeping that on a hard drive. So I had to uninstall it so there were no conflicts and, oh my god, stay in the lane. So we don't have any mod conflicts and or game conflicts and directory conflicts or any of that. So I had to delete all of my things. Rather annoyingly, but that's how it is, When you reinstall a computer, you need to make sure you don't have any conflicts in case you reinstall other applications. I've learned that the hard way. And I just have no intention of reinstalling GTA 5, because why would I? They're just bastards. They really are. I don't even know if Red Dead is ever going to come to PC, or if they're just going to say, fuck it, we're not ever going to do PC gaming again, because, they've got mods, which takes away money from us. And I could suspect them of saying that future Rockstar games, or Take-Two games, probably just Rockstar games, because they're literally the biggest games in the world. I wouldn't be surprised if they just went, nope, we're not doing PC versions anymore, it's too much trouble. People do mods and that, and it's just a major hassle for us. We have to, hire spies or private investigators to harass modders. I mean, I'm neat to get out, Alright, cheers to the bloke behind for actually letting me out. That's kind of him. Anyway, yeah, you have to hire like private detectives and, you know, do cease and desist and threaten with court cases, and, you know, it's just a load of bad PR for them, and I think they're realising that, so probably we won't ever get that for other Rockstar games. But we'll see, maybe I'm wrong, maybe they'll learn their ways. I doubt it though. Okay, apparently that lane is closing, so I did do the right thing in moving over. They can now get out, so that's lovely for them. And I've now got a little Alva up the inside. I've got a major bus up the inside. We've got to slow down here as well. Oh, it's 24 degrees outside of this lorry. That is very lovely indeed. Why is nobody moving over into that lane? There's a completely black lane mobile with the cart, eh? Apparently we need to pay with cash even though it says telepass up there, but, you know. And they've got the curtains drawn shut, so we can't pay either. Well, let's see here how long we've got left. We've got 11 hours and 43 minutes, and we have 4 hours left on the day. We need to do at least a couple more hours. That way we take under the, you know, I don't know, the hours of service thing is very weird. They have very strict rules about lorry drivers. They have to drive I believe it's a 9-hour break they have to take at the end of the day, and they need to take a break for every 4 hours. They need to take 30 minutes or 45 minutes if they've been driving for those 4 hours, which is, you know, quite strict, but presumably that's just to make sure that lorry drivers don't get fatigued and have a crash which kills many people, although they do seem to be very capable of doing that even with those breaks. Which is, you know, unfortunate because, you know, I mean, sometimes they kill themselves, sometimes they kill other people. Nobody wants any of that to happen, but, you know, lorry drivers be lorry drivers. Some of them are disgusting, though. Like the other day on the motorway, I was pulled into like a rest area to just... I don't remember if I was eating or just having to be a man for a quick moment. And saw that there was, in the bush, there was a piss bottle, which is just disgusting. Please don't ever throw that. If you've got that, take it into the toilet and pour it out or something. Don't just chuck it out. It's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting behaviour. Certainly it's not... lane. Why don't we have any of that lane keep assist, that rear lorries and auto braking? It will be... it'd be a left footer to include that now, I would say. With the new Scania coming in, all of those new mandatory safety equipment, all new lorries in Europe, I think I've talked about this before, they have to have lane departure warnings installed, and I believe it has to be used as well, and also has auto braking if you're close in, and collision detection. That is mandatory. They have to buy that. You can't not have it. Well, if you don't have it, or you have it removed, you're going to get fined. Same if you remove AdBlue, or remove the speed limiter, which apparently lorry drivers do, and remove the or tamper with the you know, hours of service locking, the locking system. You'll get done, and you'll get done pretty hard, and it's a double ticket. You'll get one as a driver, and your company will get another one. I believe that's twice as big as the one you've got as a driver, which just removes any incentive from anyone ever to do anything like it. Unlike the Russian driver, which earlier this year was caught doing 120 kilometers an hour, about 70 miles an hour in his Scania with a trailer, whilst I believe twice or 3 times over the legal limit for drink. That's pretty bad. Like, he was nicked. I believe they just parked his lorry somewhere. Obviously you can't drive it, so they had to get it recovered if they wanted it back, but I suppose it's still left where it is. And he was, I believe, if he was actually thrown out, he's got prison time and was thrown out of the country, which really is fair enough. Then again, he's Russian, so he probably doesn't care. Although I have seen actually see quite a few Russian lorries out and about. How are we doing in terms of driving now? We've got 3 hours left on the clock. Let's just make sure that we are where? We are here. We've got a rest area coming up there, and then we've got another one where we can probably rest up there as well, and then we are pretty much into Klagenfurt. We're pretty much there, aren't we? Don't beep at me. I haven't just turned you on, mate. Wind your neck in. And by the way, what's the real time? I've got plenty of time to do this. It's only 8 in the evening. We'll carry on regardless. We've got plenty of time. It's only 8 in the evening. I've also just had a drink. I nearly dropped my bottle there. I thought it could be all cool and stuff, but I can't, obviously. Are you going to let me out? Thank you. What are you driving? I can't tell. You're sort of low resolution. Let's try and reset our track IR. There we go. We're now powering into the sunset. We're also moving backwards and forwards quite a bit, which, yeah, I really need to try and sort out that. Apparently we only allowed to do 70 here, don't know why. Also, it seems that we've gone back to the 1930s with those haystacks. We've got proper round bales over there, and then we got the old haystacks from like the Amish days. Presumably they still do it. Let's engage the cruise control though and power on. Well, let's see if we can swoop it now. Chase to whoever's behind. I think that may be a... What is that? That looks like a Seat. Is that right? Is that not Seat Toledo? Surely not. Surely they didn't include a Seat Toledo in this. But you think, you know, that's an Audi. Maybe it's an Audi behind me then. Certainly can't be a Toledo. We got a Punto in front, then we got a Renault Megane. Nothing but the best for the Italians. A Fiat Punto and a Renault. No, that's actually a Clino. I think that might be a Megane. A Megane Estate. Probably is, yeah. We're a bit far in there. Fair enough. It's bloody beautiful now that we get into the dusk time. I had a graphics mod installed like early autumn. I had a couple of other ones installed as well, but one of them, or the combination, turned like all white car, sort of darkish grey, which was a bit weird. Like the police cars looked very funny. So that had to go. Didn't look nice. That's an Alpha. Was it an Alpha then? Don't think they've tried to pass us. That comes one of the... That's a Renault, and I don't know why they've gone with those headlights. I think that's a Renault anyway. They look really weird, some of those new DRLs they've decided to do. Also, VW does it on the Passat. They've got these weird, like, silhouette ones. I don't like them. I think it just looks really odd. Like the normal daytime running lights inside the headlights, that's fine. That looks absolutely gorgeous. But that sort of, like, silhouetting part of the front end, no, I think that just really messes up the lines on the car. Then again, I saw on Friday, I saw one of the new... Is it Julius or Juliettas, the Alphas? Oh boy, that's pretty. That is gorgeous. Stunning piece of motoring. I even believe the first thing I heard after my alarm went off on Thursday was a V8 Ford Mustang. You know you're off to a fairly decent start when a Mustang is what wakes you up nearly. You can't complain about that at all. I think we've lost the bloke behind, so can't even see what he was driving. Quite annoying. Oh, stay in the lane. How are we doing drive time? 2 hours and 11 remaining. 9 hours and 18 on the trip. 500 kilometres. We've toppled 80,000 on the old Scania. You're a good girl. I think we can even pull over for a bit of a rest here, so we can do the final bit in one charge. Here we are at 4:15 on a Tuesday morning in Italy. Oh dear, we've got no brakes because the air pressure's a bit low. Oh, hang on, we're in gear. Right, could we not be in gear, please? And then we'll just have to wait for the beeping to stop. It stopped beeping, which is very kind of it. I also tweaked my track IR a little bit. Hopefully that'll have help. Whoops. Shouldn't have done that. We can just go ahead and drive from here. We'll just let the techie messages go away. Hello. Could you just wake up? Thank you. That's great. We just got to be careful here for the first couple of miles that we don't sort of brake too hard. Also got to put on our little wipers. It's currently pissing down. There we go. High beams don't really need to be on. It's getting light. We have... How much did I say we had? 9 hours, and we have got 10 hours and 54 on the clock. So, whoa, what, eh? I pressed something. There we go, now it's back. I pressed something, and then I've broken something, and then I didn't break it again. So that's good. We just need to turn that off there, not worry about that until later on. Cruise control, it's pretty easy this bit. Yeah, we'll just try and ignore that sign. Now this is what the weather should be like on a day like today. Just not with that temperature of 17 degrees. That's faintly ridiculous. We are swerving a bit as I'm completely unadapted to the wheel settings right now. There's a tiny bit of resistance like when I turn it, but there's not really much centering, which is weird. I'd like there to be centering, just not, you know, what's the word? I want it to be centering, but less resistance when I turn the wheel. But apparently that's just not a feature. Why are you parked in the middle? You don't even look like you're from the police, or the customs, or the immigration authorities, unless you've got ominous dark Volvo SUVs. You could have that down here in Austria. Yeah, I think we're in Austria now. I'm sure it's a lovely country. We've certainly got mountains over there. We can sort of faintly see them. But we can't because it's YouTube and they compress the crap out of everything. But I can sort of faintly see the outline. Even when there's a lightning flash, I can. And are we going towards, presumably going towards Klagenfurt and Cars? And speed limit is 70, so we need to reduce speed here. We need to move over. You're letting me out. Cheers for that. Awfully kind of you, mate. Because, you know, the inside lane becomes the off-ramp, which is in no way very dangerous at all. And it right into a tunnel. Is this one of the big ones? Sure, they must have plenty of tunnels down in Austria. They've got plenty of mountains. As has Switzerland. I've been through Switzerland a couple of times. It's very mountainous and very tunnely. Apparently we're speeding a bit. Let's see a fuel economy. Oh, we're doing quite nice on that. Although we do want to think about stopping soon because we're down to 374 litres. The little Scania logo. The 4.5 hours is the overview of resting. In real life that would show how many hours you've got left before you need to stop and rest. Apparently this doesn't have that function. Apparently that should probably be part of the SDK, but it isn't, so they can't do that, so they've just put in something manually. We can also go in here, for example, once we move over here, we've got in the yellow 2300, we've got a trip counter, and then we're back to having the mileometer down there. I believe it will also show the direction of travel, like north, south, east or west. In the top lane, I also don't know what the AH stands for. I'm guessing that's automatic high, and then it should be showing a number rather than A1. But what do I know? It is just weird that they have that A. I know it's to make it clear to you that yeah, I'll try that again. That it's to make it clear that you're using an automatic gearbox. But I know that I'm not an idiot. I would just like it to say the number. I'm very, very tired. And it's probably not the right time for me to be doing this, but I am anyway. No, I'm not known to be reasonable. How many hours do we've got left now? 6:59. We'll just keep those things ticking in. Let's watch here. We've got 9:18 on the clock. So we are probably running in a few hours into the system, and we're right by Klagenfurt am Wörthersee in Austria. And we've got nearly 20 million in the bank. That's I don't know how many new Scanias I'll be able to get, but it's quite a few. Probably need to buy a couple of garages as well. Budapest would be a good one. They can do some proper long stuff holding from there, so that's good for the AI drivers. Mila Ahmed is a bit more dosh. What about the rest of them? Oh, that's it for now. Lovely. So away with that. You can have that going for a solid 5 minutes if you've got enough drivers. I've had that a couple of times. So try and do that sort of regularly so it doesn't build up. Well, I don't really think... Oh, sorry. Carry on then. Are you waiting for me? Oh, moved over. Sorry. Yep. Are you going to let... No. Okay. Are you going to make up your mind, mate, you dickhead? You sort of fall back a bit, sort of indicating that you want to let me go, and then you just accelerate up again. Very confusing. That actually happened last week for me. But there was like a lorry that was filling out the part immediately next to the roadway on a small road. It was going very slowly from like a road maintenance company. We approached like a mile marker on the other side. It was a very tight road. I could just about squeeze through. He was going very slow and he slowed down a bit, so I thought he'd stop and let me through. Nah. As soon as I pulled up next to him, he'd accelerate, so he caught me out on the other side of the road. What a dickhead. I wasn't happy about that. You'd expect them to pay at least a little bit of attention. Now, there was plenty of room. I could have gone through it. It was a diminishing gap because he kept moving, but had he stayed at the speed he was in initially, could have gone by him in no dramas. I was a bit angry at that point, but really you just have to let it go, because most people don't mean anything negative by that. They've just made a mistake, which is fair enough. We all make mistakes. Sometimes I make mistakes. So you just got, try and remember or imagine if it was you making that mistake, how would you like to be treated? There's no point beeping on the horn or yelling at him in that case. It's just going to make both of our days even worse. So just, just a few choice words to myself and then just crack on with it. I'm not pulling in there for petrol. Most